it up into three types. So they segment the market up into 65% for women, 25% for men, and 10% for children. So that's how they've segmented the market. Now, they're not targeting all women and all men and all children in these broad segments, but they're targeting specific types of people in these segments. So the type of people who they're targeting in these segments are men and women predominantly who have an income of about £45,000. So they're targeting men and women who have an income of at least £45,000 per annum. And then how is the Zara product positioned in the minds of consumers? Well, Zara is quite a niche type product, and it's not middle of the range, it's a niche type product, but it's a premium product, but in comparison to the competitors, it's affordable. So it's affordable fashion, or as Zara like to see it, and loads of consumers see it, it's the latest fashion which is affordable. So it is similar to those high-end type brands or fashionable goods, but in comparison to those other companies which are quite high in terms of their prices, they are affordable or seem to be affordable in the minds of consumers with the latest fashion. So that's how they positioned it in the minds of their target market. Their target market being 65% women, 25% men, 10% children, being who earn £45,000 per annum. So that's how Zara have positioned their products, taking it from segmentation to targeting to positioning. Now, from an operational level, from the product lines and from product groups, this is split down into the marketing mix and also the extended marketing mix. Now, the marketing mix includes the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. And the extended marketing mix includes the people, process, and physical evidence. So let's have a look at these 7 P's, because obviously you're going to have to mention all of these. You need to mention about the mission statement, you need to mention about the internal and external analysis, you need to mention about the marketing strategy, segmentation, targeting, positioning, and then you need to mention about the extended marketing mix. We're gonna take these one by one. So let's look at the product. When we're looking at the product, we're saying to ourselves, what is the physical item of the product? That is the core tangible product. But hang on a minute, that's not just the product. The product also includes the intangible side of the item. The product also includes Zara the brand. The product also includes the word of mouth. The product also includes the after sales service. The product also includes the packaging. The product also includes the service that you get in the store. The product includes the store itself, the look, the feel, the customer service that you get. This is all part of the product. The product is not just the physical item. But when we look at the product, we also say, in terms of the physical item, what about the product range? How many of a skirt? What is the range in terms of the different colours and the different types of fashion styles? When we're looking at and how many different lines does it has? Does this have? Does this have a small, medium, large, extra large? And what size and how big is that extra large? And what sizes does it take in terms of the product width? And you've got the product width and you've got the product lines. And then you have the product depth in terms of the quantity and the colours of these different type products. So again, you know, when you look at a product, you have to say how many different lines are there of this product item, what are the different sizes, what are the different colours, so you can see that the product itself is not just one item, it has many different items in terms of colour, in terms of size, in terms of different styles of that same item. So the product for one item can be quite large. So moving on to the price. Well, how do Zara price? Well, Zara will price not just by adding on a percentage margin. They will say, well, how much is the consumer prepared to pay for our product item? and it's more of a premium type product because it's the latest fashion trend. But even though it's at the premium end, in comparison to all the other premium type companies selling their products, it's affordable. It's seen to be affordable, so they price it slightly lower than those other companies in that top segment of the market. So it's really looking at the market and what the market is able to pay for those product lines, making sure that it is also meets the company positioning strategy in terms of affordable latest fashion. If we look at other companies might manufacturing or wholesaling or suppliers might price by percentage margin, a gross profit percentage margin. They might say, well, for every single line that we sell, that we need to make 30%, 35% gross profit percentage, or 100% on top, either or. So you've got percentage based, you've got market based, you've got competition based, whereby you're trying to market it as cheaper than the competition, no matter what segment you're on. So if you're trying to be competitive type based, you might try to be the cheapest in the marketplace. We've seen so many times how many fried chicken shops there are, and so many times you will see 5 wing and chips $2.49, 5 wing and chips and a drink $2.49, 5 winks drink chips $1.99. So everyone is trying to outdo everyone else, trying to be the cheapest. So that's competition based, really, or price, really trying to sell it at the cheapest possible price that you can. And you have psychological pricing as well, $4.99, $1.99, $2.49. So you've got these different types of pricing. So if we look at the different types of pricing again, you have psychological pricing, you have premium type pricing, market type pricing, where you're trying to say how much is the market prepared to pay. You have competitive type pricing, where you're trying to be cheaper than everyone else. And you have percentage type pricing, by saying, am I going to sell and I need to make a specific margin in order for my company to survive. Otherwise, if I'm not making that margin, then it's not really worth me producing that product. So that's the product, the price, the place. The place is going to be the distribution, where the shops, the place where your goods are actually sold. So in the case of Zara fashion, for instance, the goods are going to be sold in their own shops which they own. So 90% of the Zara shops are owned by Zara themselves. And what they tend to do is they tend to open up more and more stores. Now, when we look at the distribution, where is the distribution? The distribution is not in a back street, but it's going to be in a high, busy street, in a very, very busy location, maybe in a city centre. You will see Zara stores in Oxford Street, huge, big stores. And so you're going to see them in major cities, busy locations, and locations where there are business people who are earning loads of money and who meet that segmentation and target criteria for their customer base. When we look at the promotion now, in fact, Zara, for instance, we use Zara as the example, don't actually do any advertising. They don't do any advertising because what they tend to do is they use 3% from their sales worldwide, and those 3% from their sales they take and they use that money to reinvest back into company to open up more stores. As I said earlier, that Zara own 90% of their stores, and they have vertically integrated forward from being manufacturing their goods and services to opening up their own retail stores. And the 10% of their own stores which they don't own, they sell their goods into. So this can have positive or negative effects for your competition, because if you're not doing any advertising, then really you're left it down to how people see your messages in store, your messages from word of mouth, and your messages in terms of getting it across that you're affordable fashion. Whereas if you're advertising on TV, then you can get that message across in terms of AIDA, awareness, interest, desire and action. So this leaves an opportunity for their competitors to do this because Zara are not advertising. So, but there are pros and cons to this. But at the same time, they're opening up more stores, and that is, they're advertising their stores. People going by, seeing it, the Zara with their messages on there as well. So that way, they're getting across their messages and their look and feel of the company. The process of the organization is when a customer goes into their store or online to their website, what is the process that they go through? How easy is the process online? How quick does it take to find out what they want, if they have the latest fashion, and then to check out, and what has been the experience? And likewise in store, when a customer looks outside first, and they look outside and they see the store, then they walk inside, then what is the process? Does the staff member greet them? Do they show them the products? Do they take them to the counter and say goodbye to them afterwards? What is the process that the customer actually goes through from start to finish when they actually buy the product to leaving the store? And then the people of the organization in the store. If we take Zara, how are they dressed? What is their appearance? What are they like? So what are the people like? If we take, for instance, Apple Store in London.